As Manchester turns itself into a massive concrete jungle, I'm going somewhere, I'm visiting somewhere, and talk about somewhere where I used to go when I was younger. A few years ago I used to live around here. I lived in Hume, on the corner where these massive skyscrapers are, where the wharf was, where Take That used to stay, and in these studios near Castlefield. But right now, to tell the truth, I couldn't even tell you where I'm going. And the place I'm going to go to today to talk about is the Hacienda nightclub in Manchester. The Hacienda was opened in 1982 under factory records by Mr. Tony Wilson. And the first band to come there, if I remember, when I was a youngster, was Madonna. I think that she came here in 1982 when I was a kid. And apparently it was quite, this is what made Madonna famous, sorry to say. Early mornings, speeches, getting the words out. But when Madonna came to the Hacienda in 1982, I used to hear about the Hacienda, but I didn't know much about the Hacienda. If you look at these big blocks around here, they've been thrown up all over the place. I couldn't even tell you this was Hume or Deansgate anymore. I can't remember. Around here has changed so much. But like I said about the Hacienda was opened in 1982 by Factory Records. As you know, Madonna made her first ever gig at the Hacienda, and that's what set her on the way with the song Holiday. From then, the Hacienda had a little bit of a name, and it had bands like big bands like Primal Scream, you name it. Primal Scream played there. Stone Roses, New Order, that was their home. Also you had the Smiths. That was the 1980s, and the Hacienda was absolutely massive when it reached the late 80s, early 90s. But I'll talk about the more 80s at the moment, because I'm trying to find my bearings where I used to go, because around here has changed a hell of a amount. Bloody hell, look at the size of these buildings. This is called Bridgewater Viaduct. I couldn't tell you where I am going. I don't even know if this is Deansgate anymore, because my lord, this place has changed that much. It's Deansgate. Bloody hell, look at these. Well, yeah, like I said, in the 80s, Smiths, the Stone Roses, Primal Scream, Sub, all them bands back in the day, they played at the Hacienda nightclub. And obviously, Mr. Manchester, Tony Wilson, running the show. And also my brother's band, which was called, at the time, Exodus, they were a reggae band. They were also under Factory Records. And my brother Honey and my brother Patrick were actually in that band, Exodus. And they were on that record label, Factory Records. Which Factory Records was created in Manchester by Tony Wilson. Have you seen all these flats here? I ain't got a clue where I'm coming from. I don't even know when this road was built. I can't even tell you, because I came around here a few weeks ago. I swear to God, this wasn't like this. Where all these flats come from? Wow, But I'm approaching Deansgate Corner, and I'm going to go past, I think there used to be a cafe near Deansgate train station, which is at the bottom of this street here. And that's where Mr. Tony Wilson used to have his breakfast in the mornings. I kind of see Tony sometimes, sat in the corner, a cafe right there. This is just before he passed away. But these roads are terrible now. And when you're doing vlogs, you've got to be careful with the road, because, as you know, Manchester's changing. And they've changed when they cross the train lines, they're still going. Manchester's changing, but right here was a cafe that Tony Wilson used to have his breakfast in the mornings. And I know it very, very clear, because I used to always see Tony Wilson's in the Atlas Cafe. It was just built in the early 90s. I just seen sat in that corner with his coffee, with his newspaper at the Atlas bar at the corner here. I used to see Tony Wilson sat in that part there, that little cafe there. This is Deansgate, approaching Deansgate, and you see Manchester's gone crazy. You wouldn't even know where you're going if you're coming on Deansgate now, because in the last 2 months it's changed rapidly. So I'm approaching not far from the Hacienda Factory Records. I'm onto Deansgate. Lots of people jogging around, running around. As you see, Manchester's a very cosmopolitan city. Very cosmopolitan city. And this is the Deansgate train station, as you know. At the moment it's closed. And at the back of there, at Deansgate, sign saying Deansgate over there. And behind that's Castlefield Hotel, where I used to train, the Y Club. And then you run along there, you got Deansgate, famous Deansgate. And then you got all these big massive hotels being thrown up. But like I said, I'm going to talk about the Hacienda. Opened its doors in 1982. Famous bands, you name it. And I can tell you a story now from, I went there the first time was 85 when I was a kid. I don't think I left school, I think I just left school. And one of my mates, Larry Phillips, was going there. And he said to me, come there on a Friday night, because we used to like dancing. We used to like dancing back in the day. So we used to go to places like the Wiggly Worm in Manchester, and lots of places that play house music, which is like Chicago house. And we took ourselves to the Hacienda one Friday night, and you know what? It was quite empty. It's quite empty. So all these bars, that was Rebellion Bar, all these new bars. People just stood around. Beagle Street, where you used to park your cars. So anyway, go back to 1985, and we went there one Friday night, and there was hardly anyone in there. So we were just dancing away. People were with women with like big bouffant hairstyles, guys with like flary pants on, and this was no way like from the fight. What you wouldn't believe what would happen in 5 years after that. So we came there and we started to say to the DJ, can you play more of a younger person stuff? So Mike Pickering, Dave Haslam, all the DJs that I remember, Graham Park, when they started taking over, they started playing house music. Like Graham Park, bloody hell, who's the other one? Greg Wilson, Dave Haslam, DJ Paulette. People jogging away. It started to change, and I remember there used to be a club in Manchester called the Wiggly Worm, and 3 friends of mine used to be in a dance group called Foot Patrol. And as you know, that Foot Patrol were like a jazz fusion crew. What jazz fusion is a dance where you use footwork, and we used to dance to jazz. Places like Burley Youth Club. We used to go to places like Sheffield, Birmingham, Leeds, challenging their boys, their girls. Basically, we used to do jazz. We used to call it fusion. And then we started dropping foot to Chicago house music. And Chicago house was like things like Marshall Jefferson, Fingers Incorporated, Mr. Fingers. And we kind of changed that scene, the Hacienda, back in 1986. And then you started getting crowds coming in there, and basically on the dance floor you used to have a rag in your pocket, and you used to challenge the opposition, exactly like we did in Leeds, in Birmingham, in Sheffield. And the crowd started coming in because they've seen all these young males doing footwork to Chicago house music. Not the house music you hear today. This is more piano house, Chicago house, like White Knight, Jack the House, things like them songs. More Jack songs, Jack the House beats. And we turned that from Wiggly Worm to the Hacienda and started doing footwork, and used to get all the people surrounding us while we were dancing. And obviously then DJs started to play different music and different genres in the Hacienda. I had a chance to see some great bands in there, including Fingers Incorporated, Spoonie G. These are hip hop rappers. What they call again? What they call We Papa Girl rappers. Plus, you know, Hacienda was a home for lots of big stuff. Across the road here, you got Deansgate Lock. That wasn't even there. That wasn't even there. That was just old, derelict buildings, part of the railway station. That wasn't even there. But now that's a bustling nightlife. I don't go there. I don't go there like that. But Deansgate Lock is very expensive. But as I walk down slowly, all the old buildings, everything's changed. You can get to the hotel from them places now. It's all changed. This is all changed. This used to, you could park your car right here one time. I had my car stolen from one of the streets here. I came out and my car was stolen from that street there. Yeah, and I found it in Bolton. But yeah, talk about the Hacienda. I was walking along, approaching Factory Record, Hacienda, factory buildings. People are walking around doing their own thing, riding around. Families going about their business. In front of me is the Hacienda nightclub. Right here is the Hacienda nightclub. That building there in front of me, you can see it. Go a bit closer. That building there was the Hacienda nightclub. Hacienda Apartments. I'm going to go right up to it. Remember all these pubs flipping out the City Road Inn. Still here. City Road Inn. Some strange people in Manchester now, you know. City Road Inn. They're all still there, all these old joints. But yeah, look at all these places now that they're building. I'm actually lost somewhere around here. It's changed. There's a City Road Inn. You can see. Right there. And then right there, some big ass, massive building. Don't know where it's come from. I don't remember that. I do not remember that building, not one single bit. I'm going to cross the road here. Cross the road. Won't turn the camera too much today. And right there, that building there is formerly the Hacienda. Thursday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights, queue used to come from where cheerleaders used to be, nightclub, right the way to the side round there. This was Hacienda. Right here. Hacienda closed in 1997 due to the problems with drugs, gang warfare that was brought into the club, and it lost its license, and obviously the club closed down. But I'm going to go, this is the Hacienda nightclub, and this is where the doors used to be, right here. You see the bouncers outside the doors right here. This was a regular haunt, the Hacienda nightclub. This place right here, as you can see the signs there. Hacienda. But I can still picture the queues going around the sides, and the bouncers tell you to line up right here. As you're lined up, and the queues would also go to the side round there, where the bikes are over there. And if you was a guest, you could go in. But I remember some of the bouncers, I remember some of the Noonans were on the doors, and quite a few handy bouncers back in the day. And this place was the Hacienda nightclub. Opened in 1982. It was closed by 1997. Hi, boss. Do you live in here, mate? Listen, so we can't hear me. See what it was like in there when it's gone in. But this was Hacienda, and I can still picture the dance floor up to 86, and it was more my scene, more footwork, more Chicago house music, styling, doing footwork. And then after that you started getting a crew coming in. Acid house started coming in, about 1987, 86 onwards, but acid house started getting big around 87. And then you started seeing yellow banners with smiley faces, and this is when it started to get rammed with the acid house crew. And the music to me wasn't my type of thing, but it brought in a massive revenue because lots of people enjoyed the acid house music because obviously they could flick what they wanted to do, flick a pill, and obviously get off their faces and then wave their hands in the hair, and they enjoyed themselves to the max. Acid house music till about 1991. I stopped going in 1991 because it wasn't my scene anymore. It was too wild. You couldn't move on the dance floor anymore, and it just wasn't the Hacienda that I knew in 1980, 85, 86. It just changed totally. But still people enjoyed it the same way. The doors are there. All the old buildings are still at the side, and obviously they built the canals at the back of it. The canals at the back here. Put my hand in bird shit. Put my hand in, like that off. I think that Bridford is still there. It's been there for donkey's years. And back in Hacienda you got all these apartments that have been done up. Look really, really nice. But the Hacienda was probably one of my favourite clubs I went to back in the 80s. But Manchester had a lot of nightlife. Manchester like Legends, which was a brilliant club on a Wednesday night, soul music. You used to get all the young guys dancing to R&B, soul. Obviously Foot Patrol, the man them were there doing the footwork and stuff. And also, it was just great night like morning. And then you had, that area was totally derelict. There was nothing here years ago. There's nothing here. Yeah, boss. Right. There's been nothing here. And the Hacienda Club lost its licence due to obviously a few gang feuds. Manchester's changed a lot. I'm going to quickly take you to the side of it. Hacienda was a club at the side called the Cheerleaders. I remember Cheerleaders. Flipping hell. I remember we used to walk around like American, what they call American cheerleader stuff, and dance on the tables. And Cheerleaders here, 'cause I worked on the doors at Cheerleaders for a little while. And then right at the side of this place here was Cheerleaders. I think that was Cheerleaders here. I think it was here. You go down the stairs, and Cheerleaders was along here. Might have been, no, it was at the corner here. Cheerleaders was here. Cheerleaders was right here. Right here was Cheerleaders nightclub. It's called Domis now. And as you walk along, you'll see the British Protection pub, which is still there at the corner. That's been there since I was a child. You know, it's just changed a hell of a amount. Manchester, it's changed, but the road's still here. This road hasn't changed one bit. Obviously, you know that Manchester's now changed into a concrete jungle. I remember you could park your car along up there, right up there. Park your car along that thingy right there. I mean, like getting a ticket, but now you can't park anywhere. But onto the Hacienda. Hacienda was a great club. It was a brilliant club. I enjoyed it. It was good on a Thursday nights, good on a Friday night, which was my night after work when I first got my first job, worked for the council. And I speak up with a guy called Mike London and my mate Jeffrey Prendergast. We'd all end up going to the Hacienda right here. Sometimes Saturday nights, main night for a lot of people who like acid house music. Friday night was more Chicago house music, Dave Pickering, Greg Wilson, Dave Aslan. I remember one time I actually brought one of my records. We made a record, me and my mate Jeffrey Prendergast, a house song. We got it cut in London at a studio called King Tubby's in London, and we missed KRS-One by a single day. If we had gone there on a Thursday, we'd have bumped into KRS-One because he was actually recording the day before we got there, and that was King Tubby Studio in London. I brought my track to the Hacienda here. I remember giving it to Dave Pickering, and Dave Pickering played it. We got a few people dancing to it, but it was a bit tinny, the track. And my brother Patrick, he was called Pigo at the time, he produced it for us. We took to London, got loads of copies made, but obviously the track, still got a copy in the house, wasn't as good as what it could have been. But this is the Hacienda here, formidable nightclub, famous for brilliant songs like, songs and the famous word, Hassi, Hassi, that song. I can always picture, still in my ears, still in my ear hole, I can still remember, I still picture the songs of Marshall Jefferson, Things Incorporated, Sub, all the brilliant tracks are back in there. I can still remember of some of the people who used to dance on the dance floor. There used to be a black guy who dances in the city centre. He has a crowd around him outside the McDonald's. I can't remember his name. He's still dancing. He must be about 70 now. And Hacienda left a legacy of a lot of people. But it's a shame that it was spoilt in 1997. Tony Wilson, Factory Records, he gave my brother's group a trance exodus. Alongside New Order, Primal Scream, and they were doing all right during the early 80s. And it's thanks to people like Tony Wilson that this club, the Hacienda, was open from 2002 Madonna to 1997 when it closed down. And it was a sad shame because it closed down, because this place was good for youth culture. It was basically young people, a lot of young people in here from could be like 18 to about 30. It was brilliant. This was the Hacienda in Manchester. And then they opened another club called Home on Oldham Street, but Home was never the same. It was never the same Home nightclub. But now there's people moving in there, youngsters who live in there just because of the name Hacienda. People living in the block. I don't know what it's like in there. I know it's changed, but yeah, this was the home of the Hacienda. You know what I mean? This is acid. This is acid house. This is Hacienda, the nightclub that people now live in, closed down, and we lost an iconic place in Manchester in 1997. All to the fact of youth culture, crime, illiterate selling in during the nightclub that it was on, people taking bribes. And when I first came here in 1985, there was hardly a soul in there. And Mandem came in here and started doing footwork, dancing on a Friday night. Brought a crowd. Not saying I think we did bring a crowd in here, because we used to come in here with our berets on, and we used to have our berets on, and some of the band had the spats on. Spats is like white and black shoes, and if you can see some of the dancers in here, and also guys like Take That who came here afterwards, Take That who came here during the 90s. I knew Jason Orange very, very well. I used to go to a club in Winshaw, a youth club called Bagley Hall, with Jason Orange and his brother. So I knew Jason quite well, I'm going to walk down a little bit more, show you around the area. I couldn't tell you what it's like around here anymore. To me, it's just a concrete jungle. Down this famous street, we're going to cross over. Down Little Peter Street. One of my favourite clubs in Manchester. So I cross this road. Bear cars everywhere, man. Bear cars all over the place, man. And across this road, Peter Street. And across this road was another massive, iconic club. And this club was a good club. This is Little Peter Street. The club I'm going to talk about. I remember the guys, the bouncers that used to do the doors. My mate Gary Grant. Gary, rest in peace, Gary Grant. Gary was a lovely guy. Also the Barbadian guy used to do the doors. He passed away, found out about 3 years ago. He used to always say, £4 for £2, £4 for £5, £4. Give me £5. You give me £5, I'll let you all in for £5. And if you remember the guy, he used to work the doors at the Boardwalk. And the Boardwalk was situated around here. The Boardwalk nightclub. It was exactly, I don't know if it's one of these buildings, but no, I think it's further down. The Boardwalk nightclub, a little small nightclub situated on Little Peter Street, where all these flats are. All this concrete jungle is now. The Boardwalk nightclub. If anyone remembers the Boardwalk nightclub, I saw Inner City play here. I saw the great Inner City. They were a brilliant band. I still remember the beats. Right here, coming up right here, this brown building was the Boardwalk nightclub. It's turned into like a village now. Can you see it? Like a village. Wow, Jesus. The 1990s have gone, man. This was the Boardwalk nightclub. People used to try and park the cars on here, right on this little street here. The Boardwalk nightclub, where you can see this was the home of the Boardwalk nightclub and rehearsal. And this also be the rehearsals. Band used to rehearse here. The Boardwalk nightclub was right here, right there where the doors are. So go through the doors there on a Friday night, up them stairs, right here in the Boardwalk nightclub, up these little stairs here, up there. And this was the Boardwalk nightclub, probably one of my favourite clubs back during the 90s was the Boardwalk. There's many brilliant clubs, many brilliant clubs I've been to. Millionaire, Wiggly Worm. These are like clubs that had house, soul, R&B, great dancers. Samson, Zipper, Mr. Zip. Mr. Zip was called Zipper, as you all know him famous for. Wemmy Key, Wemmy Phone, Mr. Zip. Tiny G, Dave Burton, all the Foot Patrol crew that used to come and dance all over Manchester. Man, them that brought the Manchester scene to be partly what it was. Bands like Oasis, Take That. But remember the guys that brought the scene as well. And I always keep referring about Foot Patrol in Manchester, Footwork crew in Manchester. I used to be a dancer myself. I used to dance alongside with the Foot Patrol guys, but not in their group. But we used to like doing the fusion. Fusion is an art. It's art. It's like American jazz tap dancing, where you move. And fusion is a massive dance. A Chicago house. We used to dance at Chicago house back in 1986 as kids. We used to break dance on the streets of Manchester. Break dance. We used to go to Bagley Hall with Jason Orange, meet him and all his friends I think it was on a Monday night or Tuesday night at Bagley Hall in Manchester. We used to have to try and catch the 105 bus before it left. You know, but it's changed. Manchester's not the same anymore. To me, it's very promiscuous. It's very, very expensive, and most of the people in Manchester city centre, I don't find them far as friendly as they were in the 90s and the 80s as growing up as a kid. There's this fact, it's more turned into like a little town, you know, like a farm. It's like a little village of posh people. Gentrification in Manchester has basically overturned Manchester, basically. People that you see in Manchester, you don't even know anymore. You let onto some people now, you don't even want to let back onto you. And that's Manchester now. It's changed from the great days great days of fun, the great days of dancing with your mates, great days of putting lino out on the floor and you dancing, you know. Now you're getting people who walk past you snobbishly, and if you told them about the Hacienda, I mentioned the Hacienda nightclub, they probably wouldn't know what it was unless you read about it. But a big thanks to all the people, the DJs, the Hacienda, Dave Aslan, Mike Pickering, DJ Paulette, all the crew, all the Foot Patrol massive man that brought music, brought the dance floor, all the breakdance to Manchester, Street Machine, Broken Glass, all the guys then that were in that crew back in the day, all the man then that were doing things back in the day. Yes man, yes man, you're right. Yes man, just you're on the road man.
Yeah, studio member, you know.
Go studio, yeah man. Liverpool.
Yeah.
Nice one.
From 1 p.m. until 7.
Until 7. Yeah man.
Start a new album from the left and last.
Yes man.
So right now.
Yeah man. Tell me who you are man on the page.
Prince Summer.
Yeah, this is Prince. Yeah man.
Rockers movie star.
Yeah, Rockers movie. Yes, the great Prince Summer.
Nice to see you,
yes,
brother.
Prince man. Bless
One
up.
love.
Yeah man, bless up brother.
Keep it on.
Yeah man,
All
Prince.
right,
See you soon, kiddo. Take care. That was the great Prince. That was Prince Hammer. I know Prince well. Top guy. Top guy. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Am I going the right way? So guys, as I head back out of Manchester Deansgate area, which I've just fingered today, it's a nice morning. You can actually tell it's getting warmer. There's one of my little friends. Are you going kickboxing today?
Training?
Are you going training?
Yeah.
Where's your gym? Nice one. Go on, kiddo. Keep it up. Yeah, man. Going training today. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's good. But yes, guys, as the weather, summer starts to roll, I'm getting lost on Deansgate. I can't believe what I'm seeing in Manchester. I'm a Mancunian, but tell the truth, man, there's so many buildings being thrown up that quickly. I'm getting lost. I'm going to do a video of City Centre at some other time. But guys, coming to the end of my video now. Like I said, big up to the Hacienda nightclub. They call it Manchester. But listen, Manchester's no different from anywhere else. Not from anywhere else. But it's good that we've got so many artists, so many people into music. I'm from a music family. My brother Patrick was it. He did a gig with Kid Creole for a movie called Something Lost in Paradise, which can go on YouTube, 1980s. There's my brother Patrick as a young man, Kid Creole. He auditioned for also for Simply Red. And my claim to fame, before I go, Hacienda. We used to walk home with Mick Hucknall on a Friday nights. When he lived on Boundary Lane in Hume, Mick Hucknall, we used to walk home with Mick Hucknall 2:30 in the morning. Not every Friday, but some Fridays. And that's how I got to meet Mick Hucknall. Me and my mate Jeffrey Prendergast. He was a student, university student. And that's how I got to meet the great Mick Hucknall. It's only love doing its thing, babe. It's only love that you're feeling, baby. It's only love doing its thing, babe. It's only love. I love, you know what, that's one of my favourite tunes, I think the Red. But yeah, man, it's time to walk on. Time out. Concrete jungle, concrete empire. Concrete, everything is just concrete. Look at the size of that mother. Look at the size of these buildings. You couldn't even see the Hacienda now. I'm lost. I'm up and going in the right direction. But yes, guys, peace and love to everybody. Please like and subscribe my video. Hope you enjoyed us talk about the Hacienda nightclub. 1982 to 1997. Had a good innings. Sadly closed down. Also the Boardwalk of Manchester. You know, I'm going to talk about more clubs in Manchester and later videos. Got loads more stuff to do, like I says. It's very warm it's very warm today. It's not cold at all. It's very mild weather. But guys, have a lovely, blessed day. Stay safe and enjoy what you're doing, because life is short. Morning. Life is short and we have to live it and embrace it. So guys, have a lovely day as I walk over the Mancunian Bridge and say goodbye. It's another Wins Live video. Like and subscribe, guys. Stay safe. It's only love doing its thing, yeah. It's only love that I'm feeling. It's only love. Stay blessed, guys. All the best. Take care.